Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Viktor Gyökeres is set to be one of the most paid players at Arsenal, earning about 250,000 per week. Now, negotiations are still ongoing between Andrea Bata and the representatives of Viktor Gyökeres. However, it seems like he wants about 250,000. Initially, Arsenal offered 200k per week, but the representatives of the player are saying if you're getting our player for about 60 million pounds, you better give us some good money. Otherwise, we shall look elsewhere. 250k, talk to me in the comment box below. Is it worth it? Is that good value for money? Of course, we need a striker. We need a number 9. We need a guy that can score goals. But 250k for Viktor Gyökeres, is that worth it? Is that good investment? I want your thoughts and opinions in the comment box below. We are also going to be talking about the Rodrygo deal, as Liverpool and Arsenal are now excited about the prospect of signing Rodrygo. There is more and more confirmation that Rodrygo will be leaving Real Madrid, with some sources saying that it's about 90% a chance that Arsenal and Liverpool could get Rodrygo goals this summer. We'll also talk about Nico Williams. His management are saying they want 250,000 this summer or nothing. They're not going to go for anything less than that. The price is that. The fee and in terms of the salary of the player and the package they want is upwards of 240,000. We'll be talking about that story as well. Lots of stories being thrown around, especially in terms of the winger position. Rodrygo, Nico Williams, João Pedro, Rafael as well. We'll be talking about those stories too. Hit that button, subscribe to the channel as well. Let's get into the latest in this transfer market. It's getting a little bit crazy, but let's start off with that Viktor Gyökeres story. It has been confirmed that the negotiations on personal terms between Arsenal and Viktor Gyökeres are progressing very, very well. After Arsenal giving him that initial contract offer of about 200k, the player has also said, this is what I want, and they're demanding about 250,000 per week in order to join Arsenal. And a few sources are saying that if Gyokerez joins Arsenal, sure deal, there is a big chance that he will. He's going to be one of the most paid players at the club right at the moment. Like I said, our most paid player at the moment is Kai Havertz at 280,000. Bukayo Saka is closing in on a deal to become Arsenal's most paid player at around 300k. Viktor Gyökeres wants 250,000 per week, and that makes him one of the most paid at the club. Now, for me, I don't have a problem with Arsenal going out there and doing what we did with Kai Havertz, because if you remember the Kai Havertz deal, Arsenal signed Kai Havertz for 65 million pounds. That took the deal to around 75 million euros, and we gave him 280,000 per week. I am not going to lie to you. Kai Havertz was never worth 280,000. But the reason as to why Arsenal gave him that money is that Mikel Arteta really wanted the player. He really appreciates him, and he was already earning big money at Chelsea. So if anyone tells you why are Arsenal paying him this much, it's because he was already earning a lot of money, upwards of 200,000 at Chelsea, and Arsenal didn't want him to take a pay cut. They wanted to give him a package, and they thought he deserves it. I mean, was it a mistake by Edu and Mikel Arteta? Sure deal it was, because Kai Havertz is not worth 280,000 at Arsenal. But if Arsenal are going to use the same procedure, if Arsenal are going to do it the same way with Viktor Gyökeres, this time I think it's worth it. I remember players that we've signed and we've given them massive wages. The likes of Alexis Sanchez coming from Barcelona, the likes of Mesut Ozil, the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Those players come in on merit, and they come meriting the wages they earn. Ozil was one of the best number 10s in the world, and he came in and broke the record assist scale. You have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He came in and became one of the best strikers we have ever had at the club in recent history. And of course, Alex Sanchez. The rest is history. I think Gyökeres is in that bracket. When I think about Viktor Gyökeres, I think about him as the Aubameyang signing, the Alexis Sanchez signing, the Mesut Ozil signing, that kind of signing that you so badly need, but that kind of player that is so good at giving you what you need. So if it was a player like Benjamin Sesko and Arsenal had given him 250,000 or he was asking for 250,000, I would be crazy. Hell, I'm crazy that he's going to be costing about 70 million euros to 90 million euros. I'm really crazy about that. But for Viktor Gyökeres, I'm looking at this guy. He has scored 95 goals in 100 appearances for Sporting Lisbon. And I was on Twitter and someone was asking, what do you guys really like about Viktor Gyökeres, right? Why are you crazy about Viktor Gyökeres? And the answers made me very, very happy. They made me smile. The answers were, his goal scoring record is unprecedented. It is abnormal. It's never been seen before. And we have seen players score goals. We have seen the greatest of the greatest, right? Scoring goals. Thierry Daniel Henry, Sergio Kun Aguero. We have seen strikers during our spells as football fans. But Viktor Gyökeres, 95 goals in 100 appearances. And Arsenal are getting that guy. I don't care if he's asking for 300k. I really don't care. But of course, we've got to be mindful of our wage scale. It is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. If you're giving this guy 250k a week, if Arsenal agree to that, that means that Saliba is also going to be around there. Kai Havertz is around there. Declan Rice on a new deal will be around there. Odegaard on a new deal will be around there. And of course, you have Saka on the new deal, who is also in the 300k range. So how are Arsenal really going to manage this? The only way we can manage such a wage bill is earning more money. The club needs to win more. We need to stay competitive because the likes of Manchester City, the likes of Real Madrid, these guys don't give small wages. But why it is not a problem for them is they're always competing for the best trophies, the biggest trophies, and they get in the revenues. I mean, if you're at the top, you're playing for in the UEFA Champions League for 10 consecutive years. Why isn't Adidas or Nike going to give you such a very good deal? And if you look at Arsenal, 20 years in the Champions League without winning the trophy, and I think we played the semi-finals once or twice. We managed to build the Emirates Stadium alongside a couple of player sales. So I think if Arsenal continue winning, or if we start winning actually, and if we continue playing at the highest level, I don't think we have a problem. I think Arsenal can manage having maybe 5, 6, 7 players earning 200k plus, and we shall be all right. So Viktor Gyökeres, for me, he's worth it. Give him the money and get him to the Emirates Stadium. Now, Rodrygo goes is becoming a subject of conversation every single day around Arsenal and around Liverpool. And why I actually believe the Rodrygo goes story is because there is a lot of links to Liverpool. Because if it was only Arsenal, I'd be like, maybe it's the agent trying to, play with Arsenal. They know that Arsenal need a winger. Maybe it's the agent. But there is also Liverpool and a couple of other clubs as well. So today's story comes in from TBR Football and Graham Bailey confirming that Rodrygo Goes could leave Real Madrid for sure, and 90% of the chances are now pointing to him leaving rather than staying. Arsenal and Liverpool are waiting to pounce on the opportunity and they are opening their hands. Now, a few reports have also said inside Madrid that Madrid want to sign 2 players, and this has been reported by Fabrizio Romano as well. A centre-back in Dean Huyson. Talks are already underway, and a contract has been sent to Dean Huyson, and then they will trigger the release clause of the player, which is about 50 million. They also want to sign other players in other areas, maybe a midfielder, maybe an attacker, we do not know. But at least this summer, Madrid might sign about 2 more players after Trent Alexander-Arnold. And the reports that are saying that Rodrygo Goes wants to be used, they want to use Rodrygo Goes' deal as kind of a funder, right? A fundraiser, right? They want to use this deal to fund the incoming deals of Dean Huyson and another defender and another player. So if Madrid are looking at it in that way, we know they sell. We know they've sold Casemiro before. We know they've sold Di Maria before. We know they've sold Benzema, Higuain, Ronaldo. We know that Madrid are not going to wait for your contract to run down before they let you go. If they look at their books and they look at the future and they're like, Rodrygo is not going to be playing anywhere, right? We want to bring in a center forward, and Mbappe and Vinicius are also there, and have Brahim Diaz as well. We are going to let you go. So I think Madrid will want to let Rodrygo go later, earlier, rather than later, because that's going to give them good money. That's going to give them, huge amounts of money. Right now, if they sell him, they could raise that. They could raise about, who knows, maybe 70 million, 80 million. I don't know, right? But they could raise big money. And in the market right now, a couple of clubs are interested in wingers, right? Arsenal are there, they want a winger. Bayern are there, they want a winger. I'm told Liverpool are there in the market, they want a winger, and Chelsea as well. So if you don't sell one of your redundant wingers in such a summer where everyone is fighting for a winger and you can get some good money out of him, then it's totally crazy. So for me, all the signs point to a Madrid side that are willing to sell. The question is, Rodrygo goes willing to leave Real Madrid? That's number one. And number two, if he's willing to leave Madrid, is he willing to come to the Premier League and join Arsenal? That we do not know, because there is Liverpool, there is also Bayern, in the rest, and Chelsea would also be there if it's confirmed that the player is willing to join the Premier League. But what I would say here, when it comes to this deal, it's about the player. I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's about the player. We have seen deals like the Frankie de Jong deal to Manchester United. United were dying to sign Frankie de Jong. And he said, I'm not leaving Barca. I'm not even going to any other club. I'm not leaving Barcelona. Barcelona were willing to agree a deal with Manchester United, 70 million, 80 million, 90 million. Frankie said, bullshit. I'm not leaving. I'm not, whatever agreement you have with Manchester United, I don't care. It doesn't concern me. I'm not leaving. I love this club and I'm going to stay. And right now, he is one of the important players under Hansi Flick. So, Rodrygo, let's wait and see, right? I can't give you anything conclusive. I can say that Arsenal are interested in that deal and in that position. Liverpool are interested in the position, but we have nothing more than that at the moment. So the reports that Arsenal will be willing to go big and sign a winger for quite some money, given the fact that we might get a market opportunity in a couple of areas. So the market opportunities they're talking about is a Viktor Gyökeres, who could cost less than 80 million euros. Arsenal will consider that a market opportunity for a centre forward, and also a market opportunity in Martin Zubimendi, who's going to cost about 51 million. So with Arsenal getting cheaper options in key areas, we might be able, with player sales, to invest a lot of money, or to invest big money on a left winger. I don't know whether this is because Martinelli or Trossard is going to leave. I don't know whether this is because Mikel Arteta feels we have enough money, but Arsenal are willing to splash some big cash on a left winger if the right deal comes on board. Now, the Nico Williams management has retaliated, and they have reiterated what they said before. They will not be going any cheap in terms of salary. They want 250,000 and above this summer. That doesn't apply to Arsenal alone. It applies to Bayern, it applies to Chelsea, it applies to Liverpool. Whoever is interested in Nico Williams, you're gonna have to part with 250,000 in terms of wages. And a couple of, what I'm seeing in the market right now, a couple of clubs are skeptical about this deal. A couple of clubs are very, very skeptical about this deal. And they're right to be skeptical. I'm not saying Nico is not a good player. I'm saying a 22-year-old that is at the same level as Jamie Gittens, that is at the same level as Yankuba Minte, that is at the same level as I don't see why he's worth 250,000. And this commotion has been created by Atletico Bilbao, because Atletico Bilbao, they gave him a huge salary of about 168,000. That's close to 170k. So I think going to a bigger club from Bilbao, the management saying, give us the big money that we are already earning and give us more, or you don't have a chance of signing us. And I think there is a lot of competition on this deal that the agents feel one big club is going to end up signing Nico Williams. But I think Arsenal, if we give 250k to Viktor Gyökeres, we better walk away from this Nico Williams salary deal. We better walk away. Again, there is a question. If you sign a player like Rodrygo, would you give him 250k? Yes. But is he worth it? In my opinion, yes, he is worth it. Now, of course, Arsenal have to make a decision because the left wing situation is becoming crazy, right? We have Rodrygo, we have Nico Williams, we have Rafael, and we have João Pedro and Antoine Semenyo and Lookman, because Lookman was reported by Sky German. So who do we go for? Right now for me, Liao is too expensive. Rodrygo, we don't know the price, but Arsenal is saying it could be a market opportunity. So maybe Arsenal feel Rodrygo would be cheaper. Williams, high wages. João Pedro, I don't know whether João Pedro would be sold by Brighton, but João Pedro is that kind of player that Mikel really likes. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. I'll speak to you right in the next one.